Today, I want to share something fascinating about how AI is transforming video content for brands. So many brands today are creating tons of video content, social media clips, product demos, testimonials. But there's this interesting problem. Once content is created, it typically gets lost after it gets used once and then becomes almost impossible to find and reuse effectively. The reason for that is pretty simple. Video is inherently difficult for AI to understand. Unlike text, which can be easily searched and analyzed, video content has remained largely opaque to automation. We've been developing a solution to this challenge, a team of ad maker AI agents. And the first one is what we call a Scene Prep Agent. It's essentially a pipeline that transforms raw video into semantically understood reusable assets without having to add any manual tagging or descriptions. Just raw video content, and that's all you need to make this work. Our Scene Prep Agent takes care of the rest. In the end, you end up with a searchable vector database of each scene in your videos properly described for the ad maker AI agents or any other internal or external agents to use. In the end, all of the scenes get stored in your own AWS S3 storage, and they are described and saved semantically searchable in your own brand Pinecone vector database. You own everything. The process works in 5 main stages. First, the agent analyzes the video to detect natural scene changes. Those moments where the camera cuts from one shot to another. It's actually adaptive, testing different sensitivity levels to find the optimal number of scenes. Then it slices those scenes into independent video clips, which becomes really important later when you want to recombine them in different ways. The third stage is frame extraction, where it pulls out representative images from each scene. Rather than random sampling, it uses a mathematical approach to capture frames that represent the complete visual narrative. Then comes the really interesting part, AI vision analysis. The system actually understands what's happening in those frames, not just surface level elements like person with product, but deeper insights about mood, emotional qualities, brand messaging, and potential advertising use cases. Finally, all of this understanding gets converted into vector embeddings, mathematical representations that make the content searchable based on meaning and not just keywords. One of the most powerful benefits is eliminating manual tagging. Marketing teams spend countless hours watching and tagging videos with basic descriptors, and still, most content remains undiscoverable. This process automates that entire workflow while providing much richer semantic understanding. What I find particularly important is that brands should consider owning this infrastructure rather than relying on third-party SaaS platforms. When your processed content lives in your own S3 storage and your own vector database that's under your control, you're building a valuable asset that is incredibly valuable intellectual property that becomes more useful as AI continues to advance. This is really just the beginning of how AI is transforming content creation and management. When brands build these semantic libraries of their own content, they're essentially preparing for a future where AI agents can automatically create new advertising assets from existing content. I'll be sharing more soon about the next stage, how these prepared scenes can be automatically assembled into new ads through AI. If you're interested in learning more about implementing this at your own brand, DM me on LinkedIn.